I got a good one for you today. This is Dan. You're watching iAllegedly. And the rich, they're sensitive. They don't want you to feel bad. So they're going to change the way they do things for us. So please like, subscribe to this channel, and you may laugh at this one. Let's get right into it. Adrian Hallmark, who is he? He is the CEO of Bentley. Bentley is the high-end car manufacturer, you know, 300, 400, $500,000 automobiles. And they're saying that their sales are down right now. And there's only one reason for that. And that is that the rich don't want to flaunt their wealth in front of people. They are sensitive to the average folk, to you and me, that can't afford a Bentley. So they don't want to buy a Bentley because they don't want to flash it. Not like McLaren owners and Ferrari owners and Lamborghini owners that like to flash things in front of people. Bentley owners are sensitive. That's why sales are down 18% in the UK and in Europe. You know, they're down substantially. Here in the United States, the same thing. So this is funny. They're a Volkswagen brand. They're owned by Volkswagen, manufactured by them, but sales are off an absolute ton right now. And the CEO is telling us that the reason that sales are off, not that the economy is bad, not that people don't have money for a $400,000 automobile, it's that people want to be sensitive. And as these rich people think of us, they're looking out for us, guys. Don't ever forget that, okay? They have our best interest at heart. Whew, thank you. Now, let's step forward, one step forward. Stellantis, here in the States, on Friday, laid off 400 people, engineers, software, tech. I guess they don't want to make cars anymore, guys. Here's the thing. This EV boom bust has been just that. It has been something that these companies jumped in with both feet and hired all these people and just kept thinking that people were going to buy these cars, and they're having nothing but problems. Where the problems are coming from is they're selling these cars, some, but they're having major service issues that they cannot deal with. So instead of losing money hand over fist, like everybody else, they are laying people off like you wouldn't believe. I have two stories below about this. The Stellantis workers got an email that said, hey, do not report into the office today. We're having a remote day. And everybody got the email. Okay? Okay, next step, we're going to have an all-hands-on meeting. The all-hands-on meeting is you're fired. Okay, so they fired 400 people at this meeting, and today is your last day, and you won't be here anymore. Have a nice day. Uh-oh. Okay? But, guys, we're supposed to believe that everything is great in the economy. And I am telling you this right now. What you are personally experiencing is not a figment of your imagination. I have people that write me that say, God, I just thought I was really bad with my finances because we just weren't making it. Nobody's making it right now. People don't have money. They can't stretch it right now and get by on what they're making right now. Inflation in Europe, in the UK, is completely out of control. They have been hit with inflation that's as high for food, as high as 18.5%. They're telling them, hey, it's still about 10%, which is a lie. And anybody that's ever bought a tomato, a grape, a cucumber, or anything like that in the UK will tell you the very same thing. It is out of control right now. Okay? So these automakers are in huge trouble. You're seeing companies like Honda and GM and Ford that are saying, you know what, maybe we made a huge mistake with these EV cars and we should just stick to the hybrids. Okay, still the best hybrid I think is Toyota. People that drive Hondas tell me that they're fantastic too. But people are not buying these cars. They don't have the money to buy these cars. But rich people, they're looking out for you and me. They're making it good, guys, because they know that they're just, you know, they just don't want to embarrass us by looking rich. Okay, so share your thoughts on this stuff so far, because do you think it's ridiculous? Yes, it's 100% ridiculous. I am in the Back Bay area of Newport Beach, and on the other side of these plants, there's a bunch of water, and it's really beautiful. The first Cybertruck to ever go up for auction did not meet its minimum bid requirement. It did hit $158,000, which I thought was a lot of money, but not what they wanted for the Cybertruck. And you know, when you look at this and you read the story below, to repair a Cybertruck is absolutely outrageous, which goes to two parts of this. And the first one is, you know, when you have drivetrain that's $100,000 for a vehicle, that's more expensive than buying some of these vehicles. It's nuts, guys. It's nuts. Ford, story below, talking about how they're going to stick with the hybrid cars. We'll see if that works for Ford, you know. But the thing that blew me away is, what do you pay for auto insurance? How about this? The average full coverage auto insurance in the United States has climbed up 40% in the last year to $2,460. That's a lot of money, guys. You know, you wonder if people finance these cars, they finance these vehicles, and then cannot afford them after the fact. Can't afford maintenance, can't afford registration. That's the other thing, is people just don't sit down and put pen to paper on anything right now. They don't. What is this going to cost me to maintain? Oh, I'm getting the car. I'm getting the car for, you know, $1,800 a month. That's all I need to know. No, you don't. There's a lot more to it than that. You know, we talked yesterday about the fake ransom calls, and I had so many responses, and I'm so grateful for that. And look at that video, guys, because it's just scary, and it's really awful that this can happen. I had a lot of experts that wrote me that are really familiar with this and told me what a problem it is. And the world that we live in is a very dangerous place right now, which leads to the next story. In Irvine, California, which is, again, voted, look it up, one of the 10 safest cities, there is a thing called distraction robberies. And what they do is they take a woman that's got her purse in the basket, and they go to places like Home Goods and, you know, these different home stores, and one person will bump into them, one person will carry something in front of them and distract that person while they steal wallets. And, you know, they go back and, hey, my wallet's gone. When I went to pay, I thought I had it this morning. I know I did because I just paid for something else at the gas station. Then they check the tape and they see the guy that bought flowers walked out with your wallet. So this is a huge problem, guys. And again, if you think it couldn't happen to you, just be ready for this stuff, man. Don't, you know, you have to be concerned about your surroundings no matter where you go right now, because it is getting worse by the day right now. And I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But that story, read the story. But again, I appreciate everybody that responded to that, and continue to share that video. And, you know, the video is entitled A Very Serious Warning. Share that with everybody, because what happened to my relative is absolutely amazing. And the authorities, FBI, police, sheriff, could do nothing, okay? So let me know what you think about that, okay? Apple just got sued by the Justice Department for antitrust issues. And you know, one thing about product loyalty is, either you're an Apple person, you're an Android person. It's really that simple if you have a smartphone. And you know, Apple, they have the App Store, and they have certain devices that are sold in the App Store, and they have a huge commission structure for companies, and they've been sued for a while for different gaming companies and things like that that wanted to be on the platform but didn't want to pay these ridiculous commissions. Well, now the Justice Department's going after Apple for this. And again, you know, I have an app coming out, okay, that we're working on. And it's funny because you have to follow these rules and you have to do certain things. And as I follow this stuff and we deal with this, it's very interesting. Now, again, certain things are free, okay? So not worried about that. But the 30%, it's like everybody just says, oh, you just accept it. It's a lot of money, guys. It's a lot of money to take 30% off the top of anything that you're selling right now. We've talked about that. Businesses just don't do put pen to paper on things like that. The average household right now spends today, over 3 years ago, $11,435 more a year to maintain their life the way they did just a few years ago. That's crazy, guys. Where do you get an extra 11 grand a month? A year, 11 grand a month. Pardon me, $11,000 a year. Where do you get that money from? People don't have that. The entertainment industry here in Southern California is completely upside down. The strike that just happened was supposed to be this thing that was going to clean everything up and make it so that everybody would get, paid equally what they should get and not get beat out of a dime. Okay? Well, after the strike gets resolved, nobody goes back to work. I've had TikToks, I've had letters sent to me, I've had everything sent to me where people had jobs working on TV shows, different projects, and they are done. They just cannot make ends meet, and they're going to lose their homes. People are becoming Uber drivers. They're delivering food via the different shopping apps because they cannot make it in Hollywood. There's no need for executive producers right now. There's no need for showrunners. It's completely upside down. Nobody thought it was going to be like this, where it just stopped because there's no money. But there's no money in every industry right now. That's the lesson. If you guys accept the fact that you have to live on less, you're going to do better. You're going to get by on this, which goes to the next story, which is Social Security. Social Security, pensions, and the government. There's a great story below talking about how, will they run out of money? Well, guys, I'm in my late 50s, okay? And everybody my age that I know, my friends, let's start with that. Friends and family members are, hey, listen, the second I can take a dime out, I'm taking it. I'm not waiting, because I don't think it's going to be here anytime soon or for a long period of time. I want to show you guys this. Isn't that beautiful? That's just stunning. So, cut your expenses. Live on less right now. I'm telling you, people I've met lately that do that have a happier life. People that live on less, I'm almost retired, Dan, because I don't need to make as much money as I did 5 years ago. So it's a much easier life when I live this way. Now, the problem with it is, you got to have a car payment sometimes. You got to have a mortgage payment. We've got rent and things like that. But the other stuff, isn't that cool? You need to cut it back, guys. You need to do everything you can right now to trim your expenses and heed this advice. The rich, remember, the rich just don't want us to be embarrassed when they drive by, and they don't want the stares. Read that story, because that's what Adrian Hallmark said, that they don't want to embarrass us when they drive by with their rich cars, their Bentleys and things like that. Okay, I'll believe that when I see it. I'm telling you this, I've told you guys this before. One thing I always do when I go to gas stations is I look at the tags of really expensive cars and see if they're current or not, because a lot of these degenerates lease these cars and couldn't afford to put gas in them or pay for the registration. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. And remember, guys, everything is great. I'm Mr. Doom and Gloom. Anybody who reports the news is just being negative. Right, okay? First things first, there are 2 hospitals in Wisconsin that just closed on Friday. No notice, nothing, okay? 1,400 people just lost their jobs, including the staff, the doctors, the tech people, everybody. 1,400. Think about this. Sacred Heart and St. Joseph's, 2 different areas of Washington. The story is below. Over 100 years old. One of the hospitals, Sacred Heart, was open 140 years. And it's a devastating blow to the community and the patients and everybody that have to be relocated and moved to different places. Full-blown hospital, guys. Again, sign of the times. City of Anaheim, California, they are going to lay off teachers right now. Well, wow. Why are they doing that? Are there less students there? No. There's no money in the Anaheim School District to pay adequate amounts for all these teachers. So they're going to consolidate classes. So your kids, your niece, your nephew, your grandkids, anybody that's in the Anaheim School District is going to now be in a class of probably 65 to 70 people. Hello? What's your name tag, sir? You know what I mean? It's a horrible way to learn. You know that, okay? From a guy that lives his life as an adult, completely distracted. I wasn't any different when I was in elementary school. These poor kids have suffered enough. Final story is, you guys send me a lot of health things. You know, vitamin D does this and this. One thing that was sent to me was the migraine diet and 10 foods you shouldn't eat. Look at the link below and check that out if that interests you. If you get headaches or anything like that, I don't want to go through each of these, but just check out the story because there's things you shouldn't eat that could spur a migraine, okay? As always, like this video, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to join the email list, guys. The link is below, and boy, do I have a great announcement coming out in the next couple days. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys very soon.